Okay, ladies, welcome to today's podcast, Leighanne's Voice, where I give you so many tips and hints on how to improve the way you speak, whether in business or life or at home or wherever you are. Today, I have got an amazing, very, very special guest. She's become a very great friend in just quite a short space of time. I must say, the internet is really, really amazing how you can connect with so many people. We'll share about that in a little bit later. I wanted to introduce you to Catrin Bryan, and she is a consultant within the beauty industry. And I know so many of you ladies have got a heart for this area, and you're going to love so much about what she's going to share later today. She loves networking, she loves connecting with other women. So if you love either of those, you are in the right place, my dears. And she's here today to share some gems, whether you're listening or you're watching the video, on how you can grow your business and how you can move your business from one area to another with confidence and not have any fears. And she's going to be sharing some other gems too. And I'm so excited to hear so much more what you're going to say. Welcome, Catrin, to the show.
Thank you so much, Leighanne. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, definitely. It's so great to see you today. And it's like it's been an amazing, it's been a strange year, but amazing at the same time. Definitely.
It has. I've met some incredible people. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
it's really amazing the people that you kind of come across.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Definitely. And we've met online through your Facebook group that you've got
Yeah,
as well. It's just
yeah,
incredible. And I just find this year has really opened up, no, actually probably the other way, closed the gaps really that have
yeah.
seemed so wide and like, oh, I want to get in contact with this person or expand my network. I
Yeah,
love connecting with
absolutely.
people.
And globally as well. I've just been amazed at all the women that I've been connecting with, and
Yeah.
quite literally all across the globe. It's amazing.
It's brilliant. I really love your Facebook group because there's
Thank you.
every day there's like a new lady on there and like, oh, I've never thought about that. And just
Yeah.
the detail that is shared. And it's just like, wow, always it's like a learning page, I must say.
Yeah, it is, and that's kind of what I wanted to come across as is
Mm.
people can connect with each other, they can learn about each other, and these incredible women entrepreneurs, and they just do so many different things and
Yeah.
things that I've never heard of, but so valuable when they've been describing it, and there's
Mhm.
literally something for everyone.
Yes, definitely, definitely. That's so, so true. And I just love just like your group, and there's many other groups as well on Facebook where just bringing women together rather than being competition. It's just
Yeah.
bringing women together, and I can really feel like the network presence, and I feel that has really benefited me myself a lot today.
Yeah,
This whole
absolutely.
year.
Yeah, me, myself included. I mean, through networking, I've met all sorts of people that are helping me grow my business,
Mm,
and just finding those experts to help you.
yeah,
And that's just through having conversations. It couldn't,
yeah,
in my mind, it couldn't be simpler, but I know, as we've been discussing before, that it's not
yeah.
that easy for everybody, of course. So.
No, definitely not. Yeah, and then I want to talk a little bit about your business as
Mm.
well, because when I first kind of came across you on the group and stuff, you were giving out lots of training and things, and it was on Pinterest, which I love being a user of Pinterest, I must say, but I
Yeah.
have found it a bit challenging on how to get myself across in there's business, and you kind of took me through some training, which was really, really helpful. But I really wanted to kind of speak to you about like your kind of entrepreneur journey as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I Yeah, so I mean, I was, a massive fan, and I'm a massive fan of Pinterest,
Mhm.
and I sort of came across it really because I was looking at different business options and different ways of growing a business, and I had never considered that as an option before.
Mm,
Um, but I did lots of training over lockdown, really,
yeah,
and I discovered how massive it can be for businesses. It can be. It's a pretty untouched market, really,
yeah.
in terms of using it to drive traffic to your website or podcasts or whatever.
Mhm.
So then I decided, I would do a bit of training and teaching, and I did that, for
Mm,
a few people, but something didn't quite connect. It
yeah.
didn't feel right within,
Mhm.
and I think for me, I've got quite a extensive background within the beauty industry. I had my own salon. I did
Nice.
lots of beauty treatments years ago. I sold products. I have a big network of beauty contacts,
Yeah.
and I just felt like it just didn't feel right. So I thought, okay, I need to just make some changes and get some clarity over what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I think I just got to the point with, I just felt like I was doing this and that and this and that, and nothing was coming together. I'd sort of jump around on all these different things and not really have a focus. I
Yeah.
lost myself a bit. I don't know whether anyone's felt like that before, but
Yeah.
I felt lost. I didn't
Yeah.
know who I was. And and I've been working on the sort of personal element of that for a long time, of
Yeah.
discovering the inner me and finding out who I am
Yeah.
and all that sort of thing. I'm well into that sort of
Yeah.
personal growth. But in terms of me and my business,
Yeah.
I felt I'd lost my way a bit. So I did connect with 2 mentors, and it's absolutely helped me no end. And I feel like now I have an absolute roadmap of the things I need to do and the things I want to be able to do to get my business to a certain level next year. So
Yes.
really exciting times. I've completely changed what I'm doing, but it's all because I guess I just allowed those mentors to come into my life and show me what it is I needed to be doing.
Yeah.
Direction and giving me that focus. So I feel really energized and really kind of inspired at the moment and excited for next year. So yeah,
I'm excited. I'm so excited to see like how you're going to just move into that area and just really go for it. Because it's like, you know, yeah, the coaches have given you kind of like the direction, letting your eyes see. But when you describe it, I can really hear that it's always been in your heart. Do you know what I mean? Like I love doing so many different things, but the heart stuff is always going to kind of pull you back like a magnet. I can really hear that. I'm so excited to see it.
and I think, to be honest, as an entrepreneur, you can become so overwhelmed. It's very overwhelming. Life is overwhelming anyway. When you have this idea of building your own business, there's so many different things that you can be distracted by.
Yeah.
And I think for me, what I just needed to do was simplify what I was doing, where I wanted to go. It's all there now. So all I need to be doing are the day-to-day, step-by-step things that I know will get me to that point.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes you just need that bit of help from somebody who knows and has already done it.
Yeah.
One of my mentors, she talks about one of her things is called the 5 1s, and just focusing on one offer to one niche for 1 year. And I was like, that is obvious. It's obvious, really, that's what I personally needed. And I really took that on board. And I think, you know, I wouldn't have known that had I not been open to the idea of getting someone to help me, guide me.
Definitely.
Because although they don't run your businesses, you still have to have that element of creativity and those ideas and the motivation to be able to pull it all together. But I really believe in mentorship and coaching as a result of this. And you know, I've always kind of known about coaching and all these different things, but the women that I've met are coaches of all sorts of things that I never knew existed. In all honesty, that you could get coaching. And I think, well, get the help that you need. It's all there.
Definitely. Wow, that sounds so amazing. It sounds like just such a great eye-opener. Sounds so brilliant.
Yeah, it is. And you know, I know that you're a coach yourself, and I've seen how you are able to help people, and I think it's amazing. You know?
Thank you so much. It's just whenever I think of like the great things or great things that people do, there's always been some type of coaching or training behind it. And I always go back to my favorite kind of racer, Usain Bolt, because I know everybody always sees him at, you know, crossing the goal line, and all of that stuff. But behind all of that, to get him to pass that line, there's a nutritionist, a food coach, a strength coach, a race. There's so many people just, you know, niching him down and stuff.
Every little piece that needs doing requires some element of tweaking and focus. And him as a person can't focus on that. So he needs people around him that can be the focus of those little pieces. And he sort of pulls it all together to be that person that can reach that point. And it shouldn't be any different for us. And I think for myself, I was never really open to the idea of coaching. I used to think, oh, you know, costs so much money. The investment in it. But why not invest in yourself to be, I mean, I invest massively in my personal growth,
Of course,
but in terms of my business growth, I've never kind of considered it so much. And the idea of giving, I mean, I do have help from a VA.
Yeah.
That is incredible, incredible help.
Yeah.
And I think, well, I do that, so why not get somebody to help me just move that step forward quicker in this area? You don't have to do everything yourself.
No.
And actually, I had a really lovely conversation with one of the coaches that I interviewed, and she was saying that she has several businesses.
Wow.
And at that point in time, I was feeling so overwhelmed with all the things I had going on, and I was thinking, well, I said to her, how do you manage to build several businesses in one go? She said, oh, well, I don't do it by myself. And I thought, yeah, it was like a light bulb went off for me. And I thought, I've been trying to do all of these things all by myself. And so I sat down and I thought, right, what are the priorities? What do I need to be focusing on? And thinking, okay, what can I get help with? And it's been a weight off my shoulders. And I'm not saying you have to massively invest a lot of money. You don't. You can sort of find the bits where are the priorities, and you don't have to always spend oodles and oodles. You can find ways of doing it the best way you can in that moment. And we do need to reduce the overwhelm. It can be debilitating at times, I think.
Yeah, it can be. Can really relate. And I liked what you said just before we started recording about, speaking to other people who are an entrepreneur, and sometimes in your circle there may not be people who can relate when you're speaking about, the overwhelm. And I can totally relate to what you've said about, kind of, focusing on what is that you do best. I mean, yes, you can do everything else, but what is your strength in the business, and focus on that, and then kind of like delegate out. Because sometimes I know that we can be in our own way when we're trying to grow the business, and just release it a bit to some virtual assistants, or even as well just getting some apps that can automate stuff as well for you. That's been life changing as well, just automating some of the stuff that I kind of want to get out. And that,
and just being incredibly organized as well. I have learned to become more and more organized, and do more and more planning in terms of, for example, social media, and getting help with just a simple thing like a content calendar. It's been life changing for me. I used to spend hours on and just put it off and not do it because I couldn't sit there and think of all the different content ideas. I got someone to help me with that, and it was relatively inexpensive. But it means now I've got a guide for every single day of things that I can talk about, and it's just little things like that. Whatever you think might help you, look at ways that you can get somebody to help you with that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. That's really brilliant advice and stuff. And like, I really love that, like, it's, and I love as well that it's okay to get help. It doesn't mean that that's the thing as well. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Absolutely. It's okay. Yeah. You have if you think about all the kind of big CEOs of big companies, they don't do it by themselves.
No, they don't. It's so true.
As an entrepreneur on your own, there is a bit of a mindset. It's like, oh, I must do this and this and this and this. And actually, we just need to sit back and relax. And
have a visionary role, and then do the big ones that will kind of what are in our strengths, and then just as much as you can delegate out. Definitely that will help the business grow, definitely. And like I just love that. And it's okay. It's just feeling that it's okay, because often it can be a fault or a feeling that, oh no, like you said, to quite hold on to it. But
absolutely, that's it. And I think through the networking that I have done, I have met people who have shown me and taught me. Like I'm a firm believer that everybody can learn something from somebody else. And I think if people are open to sharing, it gains so much for everybody. It's it really lifts people. You can really, really get things from people and give to people, and it really has this amazing flow of energy. And I think I have massively gained from all the women that I've met, and I really want to continue adding value to other entrepreneurs, and think encourage people to have connections. It can be daunting, I know, for some people. For myself, I find it quite easy to connect with new people, but I know that, you know, we all face fears and challenges, but I understand that. But I've found such benefit from it that I can, you know, I can advocate it enough for people.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of hone in there because I always see there's new ladies on the group who you're interviewing and stuff, and because I know there's some of our listeners who really want to kind of interview more people, be confident in speaking to people they may not know so well. So I wanted to ask, how do you manage speaking to people that you don't know? Like what kind of comes to mind to help you, or what's natural for you?
Yeah, I think with me, I have a love of people, and when I connect with people, I really feel what I want to say. So I think it comes across as authentic because it is authentic, and you know, I feel like I just pick up easily on what people are saying or are feeling. Like I'm quite an intuitive person, I feel naturally. However, that said, when I'm talking to people face to face or online, I naturally feel comfortable. Put a record video on and I find it much more difficult. It's like if I know someone's watching, I feel much more uncomfortable than I normally would, but I still do it. And I think that's one of the things is if you're fearful, you're never going to be not fearful unless you do it. And there's still occasions when I see that even interviewing people, I've spoken to them before, but even interviewing them, because that green light is on, I feel much more under pressure, even though I've had the exact same conversation with them previously without the green light on. And it's been, you know, completely fine. But I think it's one of those things where I am very passionate that I want to for these people to have extra exposure, to be able for them to build connections within the group, talk about what they're doing, talk about what they're passionate about. And I think because of that, I'm just consistently doing it, and it does get easier and easier. And that's the thing. I think you just have to make that first solid step, which can be really, really hard. And I get that. In fact, gosh, years ago, I was selling beauty products, and I wasn't big on social media. And I remember doing my very first selfie and posting it on Facebook, and my hands were literally shaking. Literally shaking. And I was like, I was sweating, and I thought, oh my goodness, people are going to see this picture of me taking a picture of myself. What will they think? But when I started doing it, I did one every couple of days, and I did it gradually and gradually and gradually. Now it doesn't even, you know, obviously cross my mind because I've been doing it for years. But that very first step was terrifying, and I have no idea why. I was a different person, obviously. Then I've grown a lot, I've done a lot of personal development, but I think in essence, it's just a case of making that very first step. And you can do it.
That's so very helpful. Definitely, I love that. And like, I love that you're speaking to so many different people in your group and obviously in your business as well. And then you mentioned as well, like when that green light comes on as well, and like what struggles do you think you know, that kind of come to mind to you, or what you've seen, like when you mentioned like when the green light comes on as compared to when you're like having a normal chat with friends and it could be the same very topic? What kind of struggles or thoughts come to mind when you have to speak when the green light's on as compared to when it's off?
For me, I have first of all never had a lot to say in my mind. So that's a belief system that I've always, you know, told myself. And also I have also told myself that I've been a very shy person. And I think protecting my voice is quite a, you know, I've done public speaking. I absolutely hate it, like a lot of people. And it fills me with dread. I didn't like the way I talked. I didn't like the way I rushed through things. It would make me sweat. I would you know, stumble across my words, and I think it's those sorts of things that really sort of prevented me from just making that effort. And now, like doing an Instagram live, I don't like it. I don't enjoy doing it. And I think it's knowing that people are listening to what I've got to say and not having that confidence about what I'm talking about. I think that's ultimately where it comes from within. But again, I've just got to do it. You know, I do know what to talk about, and that's what I've been working on. I understand, and I can learn what to talk about. It's not like I have to know everything, you know. And I think people are more and more open to the idea of seeing a raw person, a raw and authentic person, not a completely polished person, because that's not reality.
No.
You don't see the hours and hours and hours and hours of time before that they've spent becoming that polished person. So in order for someone to really relate to you, it's good for them to see you in this unpolished state and learn and see your development and see you grow and grow with you. And I think that really helps resonate with other people, and you know.
I love that. Like, to be relatable and to be like kind of raw, because it's not because watching like Facebook lives or video calls, it's not a movie. It's not the greatest latest blockbuster. It is someone trying to share some value from their heart to yours. And I love that you've mentioned. And the key thing you said at the beginning was the belief system, the mindset and stuff. That was like, for me, that's where I always work with all of my friends and my clients when they say things like similar to you, like, I'm shy, I don't have much to say. There's greater people who are in the industry who have got bigger numbers, more, you know, different products and been in their years. But everybody, we could all be talking about bananas, but everyone can come from a different angle. You know, I can talk about green bananas, you can talk about, you know, ripe bananas, ones for banoffee pie. There's so many different ways that we can kind of get into this same one product and stuff. And I think it is in the mind. I think that's where it all starts from. And then, because some people, you know, they've just got, they don't even, you know, they've got too much confidence and they're constantly talking, but they're not giving value. Whereas it's so much more interesting and intriguing to speak to someone who is sharing. And I love it to watch their journey to go from like raw and, you know, to watch them grow and stuff. It's almost like watching a child grow when they go to their graduation. It's like, yay, and stuff like that.
It's inspiring. It's really inspiring to watch, you know, watch people progress in that way, and
definitely,
and understand that you can do it in your own way too, you know.
I love it. And you said as well, just do it. And I think that's the key, regardless of what the thoughts are kind of saying. Definitely just go and do it, because that's the step-by-step daily. I love that. Definitely.
It is, and I totally understand how hard that is, because you know, there's been occasions where years ago, like some days I could talk to people face to face, other days I couldn't really speak. I couldn't really speak to people. I used to feel so painful inside about speaking to people, and it's it made me realize the term painfully shy. And I used to think, wow, that's how I've considered myself, because I used to feel pain inside, just like, oh, I can't speak to anyone, but I have worked so hard on my mindset, and I've come from realizing that actually, you know, from a place of not wanting to speak to anyone to a place of, you know, speaking to everyone. And it's so wonderful to connect with people, you know. I know how hard it can be to make that first step, but all I can suggest and you know, really encourage people to do is find someone who can help you work on your mindset, no matter if it's someone that you follow, someone, a mentor, a coach, that can just help you break free of all that.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Definitely just working on your mindset. I think that's the key to a lot of stuff, definitely for speaking, confidence, and just a lot will propel off this one kind of route. If you can work on your mindset and belief system, that will expand so many stuff. I really, really love that. And so we've had to talk about like confidence and speaking and stuff, and I love it, the tips you give about, you know, speaking to people you don't know. And you mentioned also like the criticism and stuff, but whatever you say, whether you say something good, whether you say something bad, someone's always going to have something else to say. And I like it is that you just said, you just need to just do it, basically. And even if you don't say anything, someone will criticize. If you do say something, someone will criticize. But I think it's just great that you said, just do it, get the value out there, go and help someone, You know, I really
Yeah.
love that advice, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. You're not there to please everybody. You can't please everybody, and
Can't.
that's not your intention. All
Mm,
all the intention is to share some value, like you said, from
yeah.
your heart to open up into their heart. And that's all you need to think about, really. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter about the noise around, and and it's easier said than done. I
Mm,
understand that,
mm.
but you can get to a place where you're able to kind of break through that and sort of ignore all the noise around and just kind of focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Just focus on what you're doing. Don't worry about anyone else. I really love that. And yeah, so we've kind of gone through most of the things that I really wanted to kind of tap on. I know we've only got a short time today together because we could just go on for hours, I know. So just before we kind of leave each other and kind of go and do some other more exciting things as well. So you mentioned at the beginning that you'd kind of started off, in doing the kind of Pinterest stuff, and you're going to be moving more for 2021 into that the consultancy and the business thing. Is there any little kind of treats or tips that you can share with us, what we can expect, what we should follow, just something that we can kind of stay connected to with all of our listeners?
Well, what I'm working on with my clients, so within the beauty industry, I am helping them with a marketing package that just basically gets them going. It's one of those things with marketing that kind of gets put on the back burner.
Yeah.
People invest in themselves, they invest in the treatments, they invest in the tools, but marketing's one of those things that really does get put on the back burner. And I think I want them to understand that if they have a good strategy in place, they only need to do it a one-off thing to get it in place, and then it can be ticking over and over and over and give them a gradual source of leads and clients into their business. So I'm going to be sharing a lot more on that, on how I do that. But obviously I work within the beauty industry, but it's across the board within any business. You can learn and understand how marketing helps your business and how you can really grow your business through a very simple but very consistent strategy. And I think consistent is the most important word, because people will try one thing for a bit and then they move on and try something else, and or I've done Facebook ads, but unless you're doing something consistently for a long time, like for a year, for example, then you don't really know whether it works or not, and you haven't had time to build up the momentum. So I'm going to be sharing lots of tips on how people can grow their businesses using online strategies, how they can get more clients. So yeah, exciting times. I'm going to be sharing more on Instagram. When my voice is working better, but yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to next year. I think all round it's going to be a year.
Wow, sounds incredible. I'm really excited to see this area of your business really just flourish. I'm really, really excited. It's just been so great just to speak to you today, and we kind of just went, there was so much to talk about. Like if I do a summary, I'll probably leave some off, but I love that you talked about, you speak to people because you have a love of people and you have a love for your business to share and talk about, the beauty consultancy and to really help people grow their own business and stuff. And I love that. And I like that you talked about being fearful and even though being not comfortable, but to still do it anyway, just to go for it and just okay, the green light's on, just to keep on going and having that passion. I love that. Wherever your passions are. And I think as well, when you speak about when you've moved from kind of like doing the training on Pinterest and the social media stuff, moving to focus more back onto where your heart is at, which is, the beauty industry. That is really like, if you follow your passion, it will help you, and you won't. I remember you talked about like a bit of a struggle. There won't be, well, there'll always be a struggle in life, but there won't be that kind of inner struggle and turmoil and stuff. I love that you shared that. And just mindset, that's with anything. And I love that you talked about mindset with like giving you confidence to speak and stuff like that, and just work. And you mentioned it quite a few times, personal development. I think this year really highlighted it's a big factor in every single one of our lives. And networking, who are you networking with, who's your coaches or mentors?
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
investing, definitely.
Absolutely. Coaching has really transformed the way I look at my business. So yeah.
It's amazing. I thought that was brilliant. A really good tip. And like some of it can be costly depending on where you're at with your business, but some of it you can find it in following people or in the Facebook groups and stuff like that. We just got to hunt and look and, you know, where we're at and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's always important to consider investing in yourself, you know, as if it's part of your health.
Yes.
Because it's, you know, essentially it is.
Definitely.
You know, your mind is extremely important, and if you can get someone to help you with that, you know, you leaps and bounds ahead of yourself.
It's been so incredible. And your final point about consistency in particularly like in the marketing area, or when you're trialing something in business, not just I did Facebook ads for a month, it didn't work, and then keep jumping around. I love that point about consistency.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a real eye-opener for me in terms of that, because I will hold my hands up, and with social media over the years I haven't been consistent every single day, but when you see the difference consistency can make, it's incredible. It's like, you know, when you're with your fitness, you wouldn't just go running once and think that you're fit. You have to do it every single day, or you know, regularly, you know. And it's the same with your mindset. You do that every single day, and you do this every single day, and you eventually look back and you can see, oh wow, I actually have made progress. And that's, you know, that's been a huge one for me.
Definitely. Oh, it's been such a pleasure to speak to you today, Catrin. I've learned so much more about you, about your business. It's been brilliant. And I just how can our listeners get hold of you? I'll put it in the show notes, but just for those that are kind of running around or on the treadmill who can't read it at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, follow me on Instagram. That's kind of where I spend most of my time, is on Instagram. So Catrin Bryan. And reach out to me on Facebook, or I'm sort of getting my website together. So catrinbryan.com. And I'll be sharing lots more marketing tips through my blog. So just feel free to reach out. I'm open. So if you've got any questions, or perhaps need some ideas on how to kind of direct your marketing, then just reach out.
Excellent. Thank you so much. It's just been so brilliant for you to come on the show today.
And it's so lovely to see you again.
Yeah, you too. It was brilliant.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.